As you probably know, Professor Landry is no longer with us. I will be your instructor for the time being. So if you'll take your handouts from the Weber text. Yes. What happened? What do you mean? I mean, our professor murdered the dean. Can't we discuss that? I mean, this is criminology, right? Well, it's a little awkward for me. But okay. This is criminology. So, Landry kills Odell. Crime of passion? Opportunity? Premeditation? What do we know? Well, passion clearly was a factor. Dean Odell's wife, Mindy, and Landry were engaged in an affair. The dean caught them, threatened to ruin them, destroy Landry's career. So motives, pretty much a classic.
Is it true he got the idea from one of our perfect murder papers?
Possibly. Again, opportunity. The idea in this paper probably suited the situation. He knew he had a limited window to act. He knew the dean was drunk and upset. And he had a gun. So a fake suicide suited the circumstances.
Any chance the dean's wife helped set him up? He was drugged.
An anti-anxiety drug, yes, but he had a prescription. Now, is it possible they colluded? Yes. Will we ever know? Well, with Mindy dead and Landry not speaking, probably not. Landry was a smart man, but the bloody clothes he thought he incinerated got stuck in a chute. And once they were found, everything unraveled. Another interesting thing about this case is once a perpetrator starts improvising, the sloppier his work becomes. They find the bloody clothes. So Landry first tries to frame Mrs. Odell's ex-husband, and then, when he was arrested, in this room, as you all remember, fakes an alibi.
How?
He calls a woman whose son he oversaw on the juvenile probation board. It might have worked, actually, if the phone he had called them with hadn't been found. Again, chance. If you remember from reading Holst, 80% of... Veronica.
When?
When what?
When did he call her? Landry was arrested here and taken straight to the sheriff's department. When did he have the time to make the blackmail call to fake his alibi?
Well, someone mentioned the possibility that he and Mindy colluded. She could have called while...
It was a male voice on the phone.
Well, that is possibly called earlier, anticipating his arrest. Remember, this is a man who at this point knew his crime had been exposed. He knew Mindy was under investigation and had sent her children to relatives in England. You could easily have assumed that she had turned against him. Anyway, in 80% of cases, the breakthrough evidence was obtained outside the usual police protocols. And the interesting point of Holst, I think he makes here, is that Veronica.
How did you know she sent her kids to England?
I'm actually not sure, but...
So whoever bugged Landry's phone knew that the dean caught Mindy and Landry together and that the dean was drunk in his office.
Well, if you're suggesting Batanto killed them, it's possible. If you follow the thread through...
So this person would also be aware that Professor Landry shot down your chances for a teaching job at Pepperdine.
Yes, if they listened.
To all the tapes. Which it sounds like he did.
I'm not sure I understand.
I do. When my dad called to tell me that Mindy had sent her kids to relatives in England, you couldn't have heard. You were in a convenience store talking to a stripper. You bugged my phone. You bugged Landry's phone. You knew he shot down your job application. You knew the dean threatened him. You knew the dean was zonked out on Xanax and scotch in his office. And you had access to Landry's clothes. You murdered Dean Odell to destroy Professor Landry. Because he used you, then betrayed you. And when he said he had an alibi, you faked him. So you could be sure he'd go down. Bet he'll change his mind about you not being that smart.
And in a shocking development in a local murder investigation,
on set.